Okay, right. It's just... This place is getting weirder. Hello guys, it's 899 here and welcome to today's video where today we're going to go through our NRL tips and predictions for week 2 of the finals for 2025. Last week, we kind of did pretty darn well. We kind of got everything right, in a weird sense. Even some weird stuff, like we said the Broncos would go to Golden Point, and it did. A bit weird now. I shouldn't have posted the clips now to social media, because now it's unfortunately got a bunch of attention, and now I'm under the most pressure I've ever been, so... yeah, fun. Starting off this Saturday, we have the Canberra Raiders taking on the Cronulla Sharks. The Raiders are coming off, to be completely honest, kind of blowing their game against the Broncos. They had a 16-point lead with about 15 to go. Brisbane came back. Raiders thought they had won at the end, but then there was a late penalty which converted to make it 28 all. Raiders thought they won again in extra time, or I think it was Golden Point actually, to score a try. Then it turned out it was a knock-on, and then Brisbane ended up winning because... yeah, Raiders couldn't close out the game. Whilst the Sharks are coming off a win over the Roosters, knocking them out of finals contention. And, you know, it was a little bit chaotic to an extent, but I think they did fairly well. So, let's go into this one. Not real much changes in the team list, so we can kind of go straight into how I think this will go. Raiders currently favourites at the moment, rightfully so, because they're obviously wanting to prove themselves to go into a final. Whoever wins this plays the Storm down in Melbourne. Now, how I think this match will go down is, I believe it's going to be a very neck-and-neck first half. Like, pretty much either team winning by like 2 points. Even fair to say, it could be Sharks. Because I know the Raiders have had their moments where they haven't been able to start the best abilities. Like, I could point to an example, one against the Knights. But I'm expecting the Canberra Raiders to venture forward in the second half and kind of run away with it. So the score's a little bit misleading, but Canberra gets the job done. So I'm saying, I think the Raiders win this 13 plus. And so we're going to be doing something a little bit differently now for these two games and the foreseeable forward, because we're going to be showing off my multi because people wanted to see that. So I'm going to go with Raiders 13 plus, and for 2 try scorers for any time, I'm going with Ethan Strange and Ronaldo Mulatalo. That's the odds. I think that's rather decent odds. And now we go into the final game, which is on the Sunday at Accor Stadium. It is the Bulldogs against the Panthers in the second semi-final. Really, this kind of should have been a grand final, but here we are. This is the situation wherein the Bulldogs are coming off a loss to the Melbourne Storm in a pretty close game, but I just feel like the Bulldogs were a little bit complacent in parts, but then again, so with the Storm, but I just feel like the Bulldogs did a bit less. But obviously, the Panthers are coming off a win against the Warriors, not without controversy because of one of the go-ahead tries, which would eventually help them lead the game to bed, was a bit of a forward pass. But now we're in this situation, but the Bulldogs look heavily damaged. A bunch of players have been ruled out. A bunch of players had the threat of being ruled out, but one, for example, Nari Tuala, is guaranteed out. Velami Kikau has been named to start, with on the reserves, Stephen Crichton possibly being added in. So there is a lot of questions on what will happen with this Bulldogs team, whilst when it comes to looking at the Panthers side, there doesn't seem to be that much difference. It's pretty much the same team. Bulldogs are going with Galvin at the 6 and Sexton at 7, which, I mean, Toby Sexton made an immediate impact coming on the field against Melbourne, so I think it's pretty much the right choice there by the Dogs. How do I think this game will go? It's going to be quite interesting. In my personal opinion, I think this match is going to be very low scoring, high octane defense. It's going to be kind of similar to, I say, last year's grand final with the Panthers and the Storm. Yeah, not a lot of points to be spread out, but I think it's going to be very close. It's just about which team will have the edge. Despite the odds, I just think that it's going to be hard to tell what does happen, but I do think that in a very close one, the Panthers win. So yeah, we're going to go with Panthers 1-12 in a pretty close game. We've got 2 players here for the Panthers, which is kind of pushing it in terms of trying to tip who is going to score. But I'm going to go with Alamotti and McLean to get anytime try scorers. And then just whack a cheeky Nathan Cleary to get 6 points, which will finish us off with a almost $20 odds. And that's rather tasty. So that's what I think will happen in this semi-finals. Who do you guys have this week? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you all very much for watching, and I'll see you all later.